there. Not one of you can say you vote for this because I said so, because I left. If the facts were not there, then I ask you not to vote for it. But I do my homework. Why North Hampton County where it is now? Is because I've done my homework. When you do your homework and you speak, people will listen to you because they know then that you got your facts together. Happened in North Hampton County just didn't happen. They happened because we got people in North Hampton County working every day in county government. I want to thank you folks. Now looking at all of you, I think every one of you will have, besides you, will hire under my administration. Others of you already here. You couldn't go nowhere, so you stayed right with it. And you know what I did when I hired you? I didn't hire you as a county manager. I didn't hire you until you vote for me or come on, you got to be on my side. I'm not a good politician. I'm not that. I ain't going to meet with nobody in nobody's house about nothing. You got something to say it to me on telephone, come see me. I ain't in no secret meetings. I ain't never been in one. I ain't gonna be in there. I don't have to do that. I ain't begging nobody for no vote. If my work doesn't speak for me, then it doesn't speak for me. I'm going home now. I guess I'm going home. But I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of the things that I've done for North Hampton County. The facts are there. New county manager, you can hear Lord. In the bank. We got projects. We got the money for already. We haven't even started. And the money is here. Go down from the state or the federal government, but it's here. All because we decided we're going to work together. We're going to do whatever's best for North Hampton County. Hey, Rob, we'll miss you, baby. So we became friends, and my husband and I became friends. In the hospital up there, I see him, and been with him ever since. Y'all know I got a big mouth. I love to talk. And I'll get messed up in a minute. My mouth. They sit down on the floor. For me, I got to have them with me all the time. To make sure that we do everything legal and everything that's right. There is no substitute for doing things right. You ain't got to go back and make up. You ain't got to tell no lie. When you do them right, you do it right. And then if you make a mistake, I don't hear this sermon, but if you make a mistake, you'll own up to your mistake.
That's right. That's right.
I made it, I did it, I messed up.
That's right.
That's why they got the eraser on the pencil, you know? That's why they got on top right now, they ain't got that no more. They used to have when you go back and blot that out. White out, they call it. You got that no more. Anyway, you got to start all over now, you mess up. So North Hampton County has been really good to me. Let me tell you, folks, my heart, I've given you the best I know. Given you the best. For one whole year, I gave my life to North Hampton County. Oh, I don't want to go down. Sure, North Hampton County. Thing about it, I did understood it. I did it because I wanted to do it and did it without any money. Without, and the commissioner felt so bad for me. He's been running the road, he's been doing. But I'm telling you, I did it from my heart because I wanted North African County. All you who work with North African County, thank you. And you wanna make me happy? You wanna make me happy? All I ask you to do is just do your job. You wanna make me happy? That's all I'm asking you to do. I work too hard for us to do anything but move forward. New board members, I know that they're going to be great because we've already planned it. We already planned it. All they got to do is go now and water it, fertilize it, keep it going. We got more than $30 million. We have needs. Also, trips I made to Washington, D.C. Trips I made to sit down with Representative Michael Ray and sit down with the Republicans. I did. And said, please, you hear our cry. I don't get that. That's why you got water. Water, $18 million sitting in the bank right now. You got it. Sewer, water, running all the way from Jackson all the way to the north. That's one of the downfalls. I guess one of the downfalls when we start talking about Gaston Lake and people talking about what you going up there. That didn't bother me the last day. That you ain't gonna win because you talking about going to Gaston Lake. You do your homework. Whether they like it or not, I did my homework. I had them to do a study of Northampton County. I had a study done by the state Commerce Department. What can we do in Northampton County to make it better? What resources we got? Besides farmland, besides honey, besides fish. What else do we have? In that round table discussion, greatest resources we got, Northampton County. Y'all gonna bleed. Y'all stay down in the room. Really don't go back.
I'm just trying to tell.
At this time, I'd like to call our meeting to order. Certainly how blessed we are to see all of you here tonight, knowing that you love your county and that you want to do all you can to support it. We appreciate your coming tonight and joining in with us as we come to this November the 4th meeting of the Northampton County Board of Commissioners. Board of Commissioners have the responsibility of making sure that what is done in our county is done according to the law and rules. And our responsibility is certainly to keep up with the budget, keep up with making sure that our expenditures and our receipts all are together. So at this time, we do know that this board has established, in the back of me, there is the mission statement that we care about. Northampton County, we care about what it does. We want you to know that we care about it. As we come tonight, some of us will be coming for the release of our last full meeting with the citizens and with you all, but we know that this commissioners will continue to carry out and continue to do the things that's right for the citizens of Northampton County. We also have a vision statement. Vision statement certainly says that we care about what will happen to our county 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And some of us perhaps will not be here to see, to enjoy. The vision of our county is what you are sitting in tonight. This was nothing but a vision that we would have a new courthouse, a vision that we would have our warden. So a vision is all because of the vision. So tonight we come to celebrate and talk about what we can do and continue to do in Northampton County. At this time, I ask for a moment of silence. If you would just for a few moments, with all the things that's going on around us, we need to take a moment to blow and just to say whatever we need to say at this time to ourselves. Thank you. At this time, we do know that we do have a quorum. I will need to say that, and let us all stand and let us repeat together. Pledge I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Board members, you've had the opportunity to review your agenda. You have the agenda before you. There were no added to the agendas, deleted. Do you have anything that you want to add to the agenda, board members? Yes. If not, could I have at this time approval of the agenda as printed?
Make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
We move to proper second that we will accept the agenda as printed. Are there any questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by the usual sign aye.
Aye.
Broadnax Taylor.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. At this time, we do note in these kinds of meetings, you always have a conflict of interest statement, and we want to make sure that we all are in line and making sure that we understand how important it is that we have no conflict with any of the items on our agenda. At this time, I'm going to ask Vice Chairman, if you would read for us the conflict of interest statement.
Absolutely. In accordance with the rules of procedures adopted by this board in section 153A44 of the North Carolina General Statutes, it is the duty of every member present to vote on all matters coming before the board unless there is a conflict of interest as determined by the board or by law. Does any board member have a conflict of interest with respect to any agenda item coming before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict and the board will consider the matter.
Board members, you have any conflict?
No conflict.
No.
No conflict, Faulkner.
No conflict.
No conflict, Broadnax Taylor.
No conflict. Thank you. At this time, we should have on our agenda, we allow time for citizens' comments. At this time, we'll ask you, if you have not filled out a form, if you'd like to talk to the commissioners. At this time, it's your opportunity to do so. All you gotta do, excuse me, is fill out the form and we'll call your name. Ernie?
Thank you, Chairman Tyner. Citizens, if you signed up, please approach the podium when you're recognized. Your comments will be limited to 5 minutes. The chair will cut off all speakers exceeding their allotted time. If you have any questions of the board, you will receive a subsequent response from the board or county staff. The board will not engage or otherwise respond to you during your allotted time. Pursuant to North Carolina law, this time is allotted on the agenda for the purposes of allowing public commentary on county business. This is not a time or an open forum to be publicly critical of the performance of any county commissioner or employee of the county. And the chair has the discretion to maintain the decorum of these comments.
Thank you.
Mr. Earl Daniels.
Mr. Daniels?
Thank you, Board of Commissioners. This evening, I know one of the things you will be considering or looking at is the new policy on naming buildings and other properties in the county. I would just like to take a moment to commend the county manager on a fine policy he's written. It's done in an excellent way. There are two provisions within that policy, though, that I would like to bring to your attention and ask for your consideration. The first is in the application process. It states the application may be submitted at any time, but it goes on to say that the committee, the naming of the facilities committee, will only once ever actually taken action on it. I know this policy hasn't been voted on yet, nor has the application and all. My point here I want to raise is that, as you will recall, on the 7th of October, I made a presentation at that time, an oral presentation of naming a building. And that was in accordance with the precedents that had been previously set before any policy was drafted. So what I'm asking tonight is that I be grandfathered in for 2024, because if this, the board passes this tonight, it gives a very short time for me to make the 2024 requirements. So since I've already made a presentation and I've also provided you with a bio on the individual being nominated for having a building named after him, I'm asking that the board grandfather me so that I have the time to actually fill out the application and get everything done. That's my first request, and I ask you to consider that. The other thing I would quickly ask you to consider, it also has a requirement in here for an application fee of $200. I'm thinking that the individuals that are being nominated have provided such service to the county, they've probably more than done $200. And I think it would only be fair to waive a $200 fee for this, since all the work is going to be done by the one submitting the request. It's just the board's going to be approving. If you would take that in consideration, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. We appreciate it. One, you've heard the request being made.
Mr. Alan Tashima.
I want to thank the county for providing some answers to my questions for my last presentation in October. I have not received all, so hopefully I'll get the rest. Tonight's discussion will be on 5 areas: buck stops, FY 22-23 audit report excerpt, brief history of the county budgets from FY 14-15 to 23-24, and the excerpt of 24-25. And then also an $8 million Department of Social Services loan. Excuse me, it's a little bit lower than that. Late paying 401k, taking out dental vision premiums from employee paychecks, and Amendment 3 for the Medicare and Medicaid contractor. I will not talk about the last one since I see that's been taken off the agenda, unless it's still on the agenda. It was a decision paper to be presented. Okay, at the last meeting, I talked about fiduciary requirements. This time I'm going to quote Harry Truman, the 33rd President of the United States, when he says the buck stops here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the buck stops with the county commissioners on what they're doing. It has come to my attention based upon not my information, but taking out of the audit, and also people coming up to me complaining about certain things done by the county. It seems that the FY 22-23 county financial audit conducted by TPSA certified public accountants on June 30th, 2022. There's an interesting portion of that audit which says, as of June 30th, 2023, the county has deposits had a carryover amount of $19,785,629 and a bank balance of $19,817.156. See highlighted portions on my paper. There's also a section called investments, which says as of June 30th, 2023, the county had $22,832,531 invested with the North Carolina Capital Management Trust cash portfolio. So it looks like, when I'm reading this, that the county has a reserve of $46,649,687. Or you could call it an investment or whatever. And it just seems to bother me that the county seems to have all these things, and it's only if somebody looks at the audit where it's located. And I happen to go through the audit. It's about 148 pages. Okay, a brief issue of the county budgets. I started off at annotating FY 14-15, and the county budget was about $30 million. It slowly increased to $45 million in the 23-24 budget, and there was a slight decrease in the FY 24-25 budget to $42 million. There has been a steady increase in the budget, but especially since 2022, which happened to coincide with the 8-year reassessment of property taxes, and it increased that first year by 10%, the county budget, and then the following year, it increased by 20%. And I know my fellow taxpayers have complained about this reassessment, and we have no explanation. There's no explanation of where the extra money is going. Social services loan. I previously requested information on the county's loans, and the county's loans add up to $20 million, which I'm not sure if any county taxpayer knows that the county puts your name to $20 million worth of loans, okay? One of the ones that really caught my eye was a loan for $5,800,000 called Department of Social Services. My understanding, the definition of Departments of Social Services, that money is not allocated by the county. It comes in through the federal government, it comes into the state for social services programs. So I'm just putting the question out there. If that money came in, why is the county putting out a loan? Okay. The other one that came to my attention is that some employees have not had or were late getting their 401k benefits put into their account, in that whatever the pay date is, their money that they took out of their paycheck was not in there, which normally would be the day that is taken out for the day of the paycheck. It's not in there. I don't know how many. I'm trying to get back to the people to let me know, but I heard it's about 2 to 3 weeks. And then also.
Time has expired.
Second, I don't think my time has expired, sir.
We got the clock up here. We're keeping the time up here, sir.
Okay, well, we got to the other one, which I'm not doing the amendment. So that's it. And we'll see my answers on December 3rd.
Sylvia Vincent.
Northampton County Commissioners and citizens who are present today, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
After reading the Comprehensive Plan 2020-2040, I began visualizing the western end of Northampton County and the areas pinpointed on the maps. Solar fields are not mentioned, but yet the county is rapidly filling them up. I picked out a few of your goals and your objectives that I brought with to me tonight, and I just want to read 2 or 3 of them. I was looking at objective 2.1C, and it says you will promote agricultural entrepreneurship. The county will continue to encourage agricultural business undertakings by providing information about state and federal farm incentive programs. Goal 3.1, preserve farmland. Encourage protection of productive areas of the county for continuing agricultural and forestry use. That's a goal. One of the objectives, you will ensure well-planned rural development. Discourage development patterns that result in the excessive reduction of farmland, open space, and wooded areas. Objective 3.1B, support preservation. Encourage and promote programs and regulations that result in the protection of farmland, open spaces, and wooded areas. Goal 3.2, you will continue the agricultural tradition in Northampton County. Northampton County has been an agricultural community since its founding. Agriculture is a valued and defining feature of the history, landscape, and culture of the county that will be retained for future generations to enjoy. I suggest that you all read it again, read your comprehensive plan, and see if you're headed in that direction. The western end of Northampton County is being saturated with solar panels and other hazardous industries. This is because you failed to consider the residents and gave way to persons, companies for their personal gain, quickly rezoning and permitting. Many valuable acres of farmland are lost, and it continues to happen. Right now in the Voltaire community, they continue to destroy land, blading and burning. I have sent text messages to Commissioner Edwards and to the fire marshal about the smoke. Apparently they are unstoppable and will not seek other ways to get rid of the brush rather than burning. Their statement made previously that nothing can stop them. It makes me think they have the upper hand right now. It's very sad, and the citizens of Northampton County, beware of what might come into your neighborhood. Instead of giving way to solar fields and other hazardous industries all the time, encourage crop farming in Northampton County. Get the Agricultural Extension Agency on board, get out of the office and into the fields to find out the farmers' needs, advocate for them on a state level.
Request of them to offer services in helping farmers to receive educational assistance, financial assistance, labor assistance. And from my research, it says the Agricultural Extension Office serves as a local resource to provide research-based information and educational programs on a variety of topics, including farming practices. From this local resource, there should be a promising relationship that could lead to a statewide relationship to bring much assistance to small farmers in this county. How much of that is being done? Give them some reasons to want to keep their land rather than selling it to individuals/companies who have a hidden agenda as to how the land will be used. Remember your comprehensive plan 2040. Now, on another matter, I listened to a presentation made at the last board meeting to name the Northampton County Sheriff's Office after former Sheriff Frank Otwin. The presentation was lengthy and one-sided. His name was not a pleasant one in the Black community when he was sheriff. So I don't think you will have any who remembers him to agree to have an office in his name. When any public building is named after someone, it should be a person that all will be proud to have served, worked, or lived under their authority. So please take this in consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Clinton Williams.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm lengthy in talking, so I prepared this statement. My name is Clinton Williams, and I have provided my address and phone number on my request to come before you today for a timely response to my concerns. As you remember, I came before you during the October 2024 meeting and presented multiple concerns to which I have yet to receive a response. Number one, I ask that you provide information regarding the bonding of a particular position that is key to the operation of your duties as a governing board in the operation of Northampton County. Number two, I ask if you were following your policy with regards to the use of county vehicles, and more specifically, with regards to the furthest distance that any county employee is allowed to drive those vehicles to and from work. And thirdly, I ask this board to consider the recommendations provided by Director Michael Williams on behalf of the Turning Point Workforce Development Board, where I have served somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 years, 2 terms for a total of 4 years as board chairman and more than 2 years as vice chairman. And I note that I was re-elected at our June 2024 meeting by my board colleagues to serve as vice chairman for an additional 2 years. My leadership, work, and good standings with the Turning Point Workforce Development Board was well documented in multiple correspondences with county leadership via your board clerk and county manager, and at least some of you county commissioners were provided this information prior to your last meeting, and I provided each of you with those correspondences prior to the appointment that you, Chairman Tyner, made during your last month's meeting. I was not appointed. I am disappointed that you overlooked the contributions that I have made on behalf of the citizens that depend on the much needed services provided by Turning Point Workforce Development Board, as well as the people residing in Halifax, Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson counties. Northampton County has a total of 3 seats at the Turning Point Workforce Development Board table. However, your board, the county commissioners in Northampton County, sent 4 representatives. For some 7 terms, following my first appointment, representing 14 years, the Northampton County Board, I continue to serve on the board for which I received absolutely no pay, just gratitude for service given. You have not had any objections, and I am wondering, why did you not follow those recommendations this time? I have provided you a comprehensive list of information requests under the Freedom of Information Act that includes applications for interest, of interest that is outlined as one of the requirements for appointment to those positions, as well as who requested those appointments as suggested by you, Chairman Tyner, during your October 2024 meeting, considering that such requests should have been made by the Turning Point Workforce Development Board Executive Committee, on which I serve and have no knowledge of. Also, Northampton County government and or folks acting on behalf of it have hired a number of people to positions over a number of years. Some positions, the general public and internal employees were made aware of and given opportunity, and others, I'm not sure that this was the case. At any rate, I have good reason to believe that you have either hired or contracted an entity or individual to write grants for the Northampton County Office of Economic Development. Is this individual, if so, is this individual an employee of the county, or is this individual contracted to provide such duties? Does this individual receive a W-2 or 1099 as a record of payment for services, and what is their salary? Also, who hired this individual or entity, and did the Northampton County Board of County Commissioners participate in the final approval? Should such have been voted upon?
Time.
Thank you. So that you'll have the information I'm requesting. I'd like to leave a copy of this with.
Next one. Next.
Erica D. Smith.
Good evening, Commissioners, and thank you for your service. As I reflect and as I look at you, I'm looking at your mission statement that's hanging behind you: to serve the public with honesty and integrity, to help provide essential services through equitable, efficient, and effective use of the county's resources, and to be accountable to the citizens of this county. In picking up where Mr. Williams left off, I was informed several months investigation of your hiring practices. In our last commissioner meeting, there was an additional position that was announced for hire. Many of your positions, there's no transparency. We wonder and we question whether or not announcements were made and vacancies were posted. I have a family member who applied for a position, who is an attorney and a member of the bar. And when he applied for a position with this county, it was stated by a county commissioner that there was no one qualified who applied for the position. I see you as servant leaders. When we elected you to be servant leaders. Let me reference Nordhaus in the textbook Qualities of Leadership. There are 10 characteristics of servant leadership: listening, empathy, healing, awareness, persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship, commitment to the growth of people, and building community. We cannot build community when we have to question your integrity. How are you hiring positions that you do not announce and that no one was aware of prior to the positions being granted? And following up from Mr. Williams, there is a question about your hiring of a previous administrator in this county who was removed by the highest department in this state, the North Carolina State Board of Education, in an unprecedented method never before used in the history of North Carolina. Under her administration, 262 employees in Northampton County left, 90% of them under duress. If this county and this Board of Commissioners elected to bring back and hire someone who was removed from a position in this county, shame on you. It lacks integrity and it is dishonest. I question your ethical hiring practices, and I hope you will respond to the questions that were outlined with Mr. Williams. Two other things. In his presentation about board appointments, you have an application. I know Mr. applied for a position. I applied for a position. I went through the effort of filling out this application. In March of 2022, I was appointed to serve on the Workforce Turning Points Board and on the Economic Development Commission of Northampton County. And I thank you. And I asked the clerk to extend my appreciation. At that meeting, I advocated for my community on our unpaved road. 2 months later, I was replaced on that board without notice to me. How unethical, how discrediting, how disappointing. And so I will be filling out a Freedom of Information request. And I'd like to know your appointments for these positions that are listed on the back of the program that you share with this community. And several of us residents who live in this county who have outstanding service, you all will not appoint us, or if you appoint us, in retaliation, you remove us. And so you will be receiving that, and I hope you will do the honorable thing and appoint people based on their service and not in retaliation, try to pay people back for your perceived disrespect or disparagement. And you want to remove people from a board, even when the appointment is not due or up. Thank you.
Thank you. Next one.
Those are all I have, Chairman Tucker.
That's all you have? Thank you, board members. Any others? Any others? Thank you for your concerns. We're asking our clerk to please make sure we get a response. And for a lot of those, I think it probably take you all citizens coming to the administrative office, sitting down with appropriate people and asking those questions there to those people who can answer those questions. Answers in the area of personnel, you need to ask our personnel, ask our county manager, personnel director, making sure that we follow all laws and so forth. When it comes to the finance, the young man who want to know about the finance, you need to have a conversation with our finance director and with our CPA. Those kinds of questions you need to ask them. I can't answer those. You need to ask them those kinds of questions. We have those people to do the job and to make sure that they give to us the right information. We do know that they're licensed individuals, and if any individuals do not respond, then we do not do their job, then their license is at stake. So thank you again, citizens, for all that you do and all of your concerns. At this time, let's go to number 6 on our review of potential Northampton County policy for building namely, we just heard from one of the citizens talk about that a few moments ago. I'm going to ask the Board of Commissioners if you would respond to what he has asked to your clerk, and that we might be able to come back and make those changes if you desire to make them. We've just heard of them tonight, but let's make those changes if you desire to make them. What I've heard from this county commissioners is that we do not have a policy for naming of a building, and we need a policy to do so. Because after a while, there'll be some people that talking about naming the building after me. Wouldn't that be something? We didn't get the vote. Stay on the seat. But the fact of it is, we're going to follow that policy. That policy will be followed. We do know that there's some information that has already been given to us, and we want to let you know that I know that the commission would take that in lieu of you going back through the procedure again. Okay, so board members, is that am I talking your sentiments right now? Your sentiments right now, that we're gonna look at that policy and you'll be ready to vote on it, and the information that already received will be considered as we follow the policy. Okay? And that policy is important. It is important that you have a policy on it. So at this time, any board members, I hope I'm on my last, but I'm gonna speak for you. I wanna make sure that I'm saying what it is that you think I need to say.
I have a question.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if I missed it, but I read it a few times. And I know it is still the decision, final decision is that of the board in which to make the decision about naming. But is there an opportunity in the procedure for a public hearing?
Is that,
That way we can hear us naming a building that's a permanent type of situation, just to get the feedback from the community. And we still make our decision, or the board will still make their decision, but adding as a procedure, a formal public hearing.
as we develop this, it's entirely up to you all what y'all include in it. And what we probably need to know is that you want that to be a part of it. It can be a phase of it, and before the commissioners vote on it.
It's on page, well, it's not a page number, it's 2.5.
Okay.
I see 2.5, but it does not say public hearing. It says the county manager shall prepare a report with recommendations for the proposed naming of the public building, facility, or land, and present it to the Board of Commissioners for consideration at the regular scheduled public meeting. What I'm asking for is a public forum where the public can provide input. That's what we would hear the summary of all the accolades and accomplishments of the individual, what happened at that hearing, and then anyone else could make comments. So I'm not seeing public comments. I do see that you, as the manager, would present the proposal to us, but not where the public would have an opportunity to, the public would have an opportunity.
I'm sorry, it's 2.7.
2.7.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it is.
Now it's
Okay.
there, the
Yeah,
last,
okay,
the last
yeah.
one.
It's
Okay.
there.
Yeah, that is in there.
Thank you, County Manager.
And since I read the other, it says the board may determine the public building, facility, or land is of significant public interest and direct a notice to be published informing the public of the board's intent to consider the naming of the public facility or land, and fix a name and time and place for a public hearing on the question. So my apologies, that was the last one there on the page, and I was reading it mostly virtual. So I
Okay,
apologize.
thank you, Commissioner. At this time, Board of Commissioners, make any changes, please give it to our clerk to the board. She will then send it to all of us to know whether we want to include it in that policy. Okay? Are we clear? Are we clear on that? Okay, thank you. We are going in new areas that we have not been in before, and we just gotta make our way through it. That's what it's all about. Also, in that is that consideration for that $200. It's been asked if y'all would make comments about that, whether that is appropriate or not appropriate, or what you think it in that area, okay? Because Mr. Daniel would like to have that also considered. So if you all would do that and get back with our, I say in at least a week, if you would get back with any correspondence that we can all share it together.
Could I have what the $200 would be used for in your, you don't have to say it now, but what would that $200, is there some type of change in signage? What would the $200 be used for?
I believe that's what the intent was, if you're gonna have a plaque and have the person's name.
So we pay for those.
Right.
Thank you. Board members, are you clear on that? Board members, are you clear on that? Y'all clear? I want to make sure that you're clear. Again, we should move forward, and we will ask board members if you will again respond to the request of any changes in that policy. We do note that this policy was not our policy, it was a policy. We looked at all the other counties, and county managers did the research on all the other counties and came back with the ones that he wanted us to look at. At this time, we shall continue with our agenda. At this time, Mr. Tony Burnett.
Like I say, good evening to everyone. To our citizens, good evening. I'd like to come before the board on this evening to talk about the MOU for the chaplains program, having the emergency chaplains be a part of Northampton County Emergency Services. I'd like to say this before I go any further. Here in the 21st century, with everything that we have going on around our nation, in our state and in our county, you have so many people committing suicide. You have so much going on around mental health, and especially the high profile jobs that are being called out to accidents, seeing all types of things, people dying, and our first responders see that on a daily basis. They're dealing with death. And when this reference to having a chaplain be a part of our county, being able to provide that service to our first responders, I wanted to make sure that I jumped on that. Also, for all of our county employees, I think this would go a long way into bringing us into the 21st century where we need to be at, and it also shows our employees, number one, that we're thinking about them. We're thinking about their mental health, their physical health, and making sure they are right. A lot of times people keep things, hold things down inside, and they don't bring them out. And that's having a chaplain being able to speak to someone in reference to that, having to speak with someone in private, and just to get those feelings out. So I'd like to just, I know you all got a packet on that, and I'd just like the board, if you would, and there's no charge. Mr. John Thompson, he will be providing that service to us. And right now he is a part of EMS. He's an EMT here in Northampton that works out of EMS here. And also he's the chaplain for Northampton Fire Association. And he's a chaplain with the Ridge Square Fire Department. And he's a pastor at Ridge Square Baptist Church. So I'm asking the board to approve this MOU between Northampton County and the Emergency Chaplains Program. I'd like to thank Attorney McKellar for going over that MOU with us, and for our county manager, Mr. Phillips, for assisting on that as well. So I stand here for board might have for me. And if given the go ahead on this, we will go ahead and get this implemented around through all of our emergency services department.
Board members, you heard from Mr. Burnett. He's come to us with a recommendation an agreement that we would have emergency chaplains. Northampton County. And this will be without any cost to Northampton County budget. What is your pleasure on this? Your pleasure.
I make a motion that we approve the chaplain's memorandum of understanding between ECHAP and Northampton County Emergency Services as presented by our Emergency Management Director.
Second.
Move proper second, that we will approve this service. Are there any questions, any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if this is on topic, but I'd like to thank you and your department for all the hard work you've done with the fire, the Hampton Farms fire. And could you give a brief update to the citizens on where we are, the status of that fire, and where we are with that in our county?
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you asked. I'm always, that you all know because you live here in this community, and I know a lot of people that came down from Lake Gaston past that fire burning out there. And my hat is off to all of our first responders, all the young men and women that answer that call. I like to call our fire marshal up, Mr. Chris Collier. Chris, come up. And I want you to just give everybody an update on where we are at. And we was up there this morning and Chris left there a little while ago. And I just want him to just give you guys an update.
Good evening, everybody. So the first 2 days we were up there, we had a total of 17 departments that was fighting that fire. And we ran into an issue with water. We had to come off the county water, so we were having to set up a tanker shuttle and draft water from a pond that was probably about not even a quarter mile from the peanut company, as well as the Weldon Bridge. We finally got a hold of it, made a good stop on it on the third day, kept it contained. As of right now, SPSI out of Pennsylvania was contacted through the insurance company of Hampton Farms, and they have came in with a team that is actually providing fire suppression to it. Their plans are to have it under control hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday, if everything goes right. The only issue with it is you can't dump enough water on it to put it out. It's got to burn itself out because of the peanut oil in it. It is not hazardous. It is thick smoke, and we've been trying to monitor the area. But as of right now, that's where we stand on it. We're going up there off and on all day. Like I said, we were there for what, 36 hours straight when it started. But if y'all have any questions, please contact us. Call our dispatch office and we'll try to assist you in any way.
I can share this to the board as well, that it was a similar fire just like this in Severn. And that particular fire went on for like 2 weeks. And basically the owner, we learned from that fire and being able to take some of the things we learned from that fire and put it on this one and move a little bit quicker. So I just wanted to make sure that we get this out to you and get it out to the public as well. Thank you. Questions?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Need to take a vote?
Yes.
Okay, she made it, you second.
Yeah, second.
Okay, then we'll say all in favor, nobody use sign aye.
Aye.
Hi, Ronette Taylor.
I, Faulkner.
Aye.
Ayes have, it, motion is carried. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank the board so much for approving this. This is really going to go a long way for our people here in the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Acknowledgement of participants assisting with Hurricane Helen. I have that. Commissioner Faulkner, do that, call those names for me and let us recognize those people who have worked so hard in helping those people in Asheville and around with the hurricane. And we're blessed that we had some people to go there and to represent not only themselves, but to represent us as a county. And we're just glad that we had some to do that. And tonight we want to recognize them. Am I right? You have, okay.
Good evening, citizens. I went to college in a little small town in West Virginia, middle of the state. And I started school there maybe 2 years after a major hurricane. People in the mountains would go to work and school in 3 or 4 feet of snow. But when it rains, that's when they get afraid, because the mudslides and things like that, they can't control, and there's nothing that they could do. In the mountains, you've seen the little, rocks and everything that fall. So my heart goes out for the citizens that are there and the emergency and first responders that have had to go in and do the work to either bring home people safely or to bring people back to their families so that they can have proper burials. So the support that we just provided, I know that's going to be needed tremendously across our state, and those that came from out of North Carolina to assist the citizens in the western part of the state. I will call the following names if you'll please come forward. The certificate of appreciation reads, the individual's name, Northampton County Commissioners would like to acknowledge your dedicated service assisting Western North Carolina in a destructive aftermath of Hurricane Helene. We applaud you for your service and dedication to our communities. Awarded on this 4th day of November 2024, signed respectfully, Dr. Charles R. Tyner, Sr., Chairman, Northampton County Board of Commissioners. When I call your name, if you're here, would you please come forward? We have Chris Collier, Fire Marshal. William Blanchard, Paramedic. We'll remain standing for a group photo. From the Sheriff's Department, we have Captain Michael Bishop. Sergeant Anton Eaton. Sergeant Rashad Battle. He wants me to slow up a little bit. Sergeant Daryl Rowe. Sergeant Walter Brown. Deputy Kayla Cogdill. Deputy Desmond Williams. Deputy Johnny Hoggard. From our North Carolina Cooperative Extension Office, we have Erica Love, 4-H Program Assistant. From our Social Services Department, we have Angela Cook, Supervisor. Margie Martin, Lead Worker. Charlene Gray. Terry Ireland. Vernita Davis. Margaret Bridgers. Thank you anyway for your service for the community. Amber Bolton. Alexis Brown.
Whole social service.
Chris Schwartz. That was the final of the presentations for there, so you want me to go ahead and do that? Okay. We have additional recognitions that we would like to do at this time. Service to your community and dedicated long-term service is to be commended and respected. The following individuals are being rewarded or awarded acknowledgement for their 30 years of service to Northampton County. Rhonda Taylor.
Eric Wall, 30 years. Thank you, standing up there. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Miss Lisa Brody. Last but certainly not least, Miss Stephanie Renee Mallard. That was the final. Let's give a great big round of applause for these awesome individuals.
Group picture, is that true? Look
Can
right
we-
now.
Can you get it right in front?
Come on, y'all come right now.
Newspapers here, that would be good for us to recognize them all together collectively. She's got the right camera to do this. You have to come through that way to go out to the chair. Unless we still can have it. Are they doing this?
Come on, Commissioner, come on the side. Yeah, thank you. Got board members in here, board members, chairman, no more here. Come on, this round. Yeah, just take a picture with us. Board, look here. Come on, board members.
Yeah.
Okay. Get mine now, 'cause this is last for me. Okay, thank you. Sure. Sure. Y'all go over there with the sheriff, we on the side, all right? Y'all, yeah. How about that? Oh, you look at me too. Okay, okay. Here we go. Come on, okay, no problem. Make sure it ain't safe.
That's perfect.
Come on. Come on, Cam, come on, come on. Y'all trying to run it away. Mr. Burnett. Mr. Burnett. They do the work. They do the work. They do the work. Oh, okay. Thank you for what y'all did. We appreciate it.
This time, our county manager. Use of recovery funds.
Okay, good evening again, everyone. What we have before you tonight is the grant project ordinance between Northampton County, and it's for our American Rescue Plan. It's our ARPA funds, and it's not a new ordinance. No ordinance is included in your packet. The only difference is in section 3. In section 3, this is a new format that we were asked, every county was asked to use this format. It's basically, we're doing house cleaning at this point as we close out ARPA fundings. As you all know, by December 31st, every county has to obligate their funding. And what we're doing here is we've delineated all of the projects that we've used our ARPA funds for. So you can see by project number and a description and the amount that was appropriated to each one of these projects. The total of our ARPA funds was 3.8 million. And that is the only change between this ordinance and the previous ordinance. I think what they recommended, and it was through NCACC ARPA Technical Assistance Team. They're the ones who recommended that we use this new format. And again, it helps because it shows where the funds were used, and attached is the support and documentation, which is important because at some point you may get an audit and you want to be able to go back and show where did you use the monies and for what expenditure. So the documentation is a detailed listing of the accounts that we used and showing where the funds were transferred into that particular fund. And that's it. That's the basic change. That was the only item that we had to complete as a county to make sure we do get an audit.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any questions? All the supporting documentation is right before you. It's in your package, and you have an opportunity to see it. If you have not seen it, board members, if you got any questions about it, you feel free, even after the night, go by his office and sit down with him, and he'll be able, in finance, they'll be able to tell you about all of this, okay? Could I have a?
Just one question, Mr. So,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips, when is the last date to utilize these funds?
December 31st, 2025.
December 31st, 2025.
Right.
Correct. Thank you.
Any other questions? Another question? If not, could I have a motion then we approve this amendment?
I make a motion that we approve the amendment to the grant project ordinance for Northampton County, North Carolina, American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund.
Thank you. We would approve the agenda item before us, the use of those funds. Are there any questions or any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it know by usual saying aye.
Aye.
I, Ron X. Taylor.
I, Faulkner.
Aye. Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. At this time, we'll deal with the Northampton County Memorial Library happenings. Please come, Director, Branch Manager.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Good evening.
afternoon, county commissioners, county manager, and fellow citizens. I stand here this afternoon to give you a few updates about our Northampton Memorial Library, things that we're doing there. Commissioners, always, I want to say thank you, county manager, thank you for your support. Our library is more than just books. As you can see, we stay out into the public. There is a staff of 5 people there, and we make sure that we keep our library alive by doing many things other than just reading books and promoting literacy in different ways. So lately, what we've done is we just recently finished up our fall festival at the library, which we made sure we always collaborate with different agencies within the county, like Hertford, Northampton Smart Start, promoting the Imagination Library there and providing free books, and the Wisdom Tooth program that's sponsored by North Carolina State University. Burgess Farms, thank you for bringing the pumpkin patch to Northampton Memorial Library to make sure that all our young people had a pumpkin to take home with them that evening. Our special thing we did this year with the Fall Festival, everybody knows that Smokey the Bear celebrated his 80th birthday in August, and the month of October is Fire Prevention Month. So our Northampton County Forestry Division came and brought Smokey the Bear so we can party with Smokey at the Fall Festival. So that was a treat for the kids. And also, thanks to the town of Jackson for always supporting and providing a hayride for our children around our county square. Starting this month, matter of fact, tomorrow, November the 5th, we have partnered with East Carolina University to bring digital literacy to our county, where we can bridge that gap between, broadband and teaching our patrons how to use devices, electronic devices. So starting tomorrow, they will have basic computer skills class, and this will be every Tuesday in November, starting at 10:30 until 12:30. Online privacy, safety and privacy, how to search and find trusted information online, and using healthcare online. Participants are not required to sign up for all 4 sessions. You can sign up for which one you are interested in. Everyone will be asked to take a pre-test and a post-test. And everyone that participates in one of these sessions, their name will be entered to win a free iPad, courtesy of East Carolina University. So this is something that we're bringing to the county for absolutely free. Also, coming up on November the 13th, this is our month that we honor our veterans in the country. But especially here in Northampton County, we have approximately over 1,300 veterans right here in Northampton County. So at the library, every year, we try to make sure that we sponsor a veterans program and honor our veterans with a nice luncheon as well. So this year, what we're doing is we're partnering with Representative Don Davis' office. They're going to be bringing their mobile unit staff here on November the 13th at 11 o'clock. So what they're going to be doing is, with their mobile staff unit, there is something that is called the Veterans History Project. This is a project that was created by Congress in the year of 2000. And it was a way for our veterans to collect and preserve their history of service to be added to the Library of Congress for future generations. So every veteran, if they want to tell their story, maybe they want to do an audio, a video, they want to donate a piece of a document, then they're looking for originals. You're more than welcome to come out on November the 13th. Even if you have a veteran family member that has passed on, and maybe they had a journal and they had a picture, and you would like to have that preserved, still come out, and that person will be able to sign the appropriate release forms to have it submitted to the Library of Congress for preservation. If you would like to participate in that project or know a veteran that would like to participate, and you can find these online too at the Library of Congress, but there is a Veteran History Project kit, and I have several of these on file at the library at the circulation desk, and I have some with me tonight. Even if you do not sign up today to be a part of on November the 13th, you still can call the library, or you could call Congressman Don Davis' office, and we'll be able to schedule an appointment for you. The appointment could be, you can go to Greenville to their office, to their district office, or they can meet you right here in Northampton County to collect the information. Because we do want to start preserving that history for our veterans right here in Northampton County. That Congressman Davis said that Northampton County has the most veterans in the state. So they want to start here with that project right here in Northampton County. We have a book signing coming up. This is a person named Mr. Stephen Allen. He is a former resident of Garrisburg, North Carolina. He has an inspirational book called Trauma Still Speaks. And he will be here at the library on November the 16th from 12 until 2. Also, we are busy working on our summer reading program 2025. So far, we have confirmed 3 presentations. So I want to thank you all again for your support, because presentations, I'm learning, they are not cheap. They're not cheap. So thank you all for that support. Also, we're working on our Black History Program, which we're gonna schedule that for February the 22nd. And this is going to be more some hip hop poetry. We are bringing back one of our own, Mr. Edwards, J. Julius Ward. He's another Northampton County Ram. And he's a young man that's in the Charlotte area. He's a poet, but this is his home, reared and graduated from Northampton County Schools. So we're always trying to showcase and let our young people tangible. This can happen. Look and see what happened in Northampton County. And lastly, I want to remind you, on April the 19th, 2025, mark your calendars now. We are having our second annual George Moses Horton Book Festival right here in Northampton County. But the only difference is we're moving it from the library because it was so great and it grew last year. We're moving it to the Northampton County Culture and Wellness Center. And we have a lot of good authors that we are planning to have there. Like last year, we had a lot of good authors. We had some children authors, and this year we're going to bring back some more children's authors. So April the 19th, 2025, we're having the second annual George Moses Horton Book Festival. Thank you all again for your support. I just come to let you all know our library is thriving and we're going to continue to thrive. So thank you all so much.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate it. At this time, we're going to ask Vic, will you please come, Health Director?
Good evening, Commissioners and
Good evening.
citizens. I come before you tonight to ask for approval for an amendment for our well care contract. We, on May the 2nd, 2019, we entered into a participating provider agreement with well care for through managed care organizations due to Medicaid transformation. Since we received our advanced medical home Tier 3 status last year.
I'm sorry, we just don't have it. Okay, we got it. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, man.
That's okay.
That's too much for me. Okay. Go on. Go on, man. Go on. We catch up. You tell us about it.
Okay, so we already have an existing contract with WellCare, but since we received our advanced medical home Tier 3 status in last year, that gave us an option to be able to be reimbursed for some more services. Along with our AMH 3 tier status, it also, they wanted to bring in with our amendment WellCare Medicare. So this contract also includes that piece of it as well. And it was, our Board of Health was polled and it was approved by our Board of Health on October the 15th.
Tell me one more time what it does, because we were trying to
Okay.
find it in paper.
So
Tell me one more-
WellCare is it's one of the Medicaid plans for
Okay.
the Medicaid care organization. And we
Okay.
already have a contract with them. And so this amendment is to basically for us to be reimbursed for more services because we now have an AMH Tier 3 status. So it increases our reimbursement bill for WellCare Medicare.
Got it. Thank you. Board members, you have any questions? What I got for that won't cost us a thing. We're providing more services for people in our community through the health department. That's what I got from it. Okay, I got this whole book up here, and you won't take it home with you. You're free to do so. Here's the whole book on it. Just didn't run the whole book.
So this is just like the other ones that I've brought with United Healthcare,
Okay.
Blue Cross Blue Shield, things like that, Healthy Blue.
Well, do you approve of this, board members? Do you approve this?
Chairman, I move approval of the WellCare amendment as presented by
Second.
Move the proper second that we will approve the amendment to this
Wellcare amendment.
amendment.
Yes,
Are there any questions and discussion? Not all in favor, let me know by you sign aye.
Aye.
I, Broadneck Taylor. I vote.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we have tax department matters.
Good evening from Northampton County Tax Department.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am before you to bring 4 items for your attention. The first being your approval for the 2024 tax summary. I have included the tax scroll summary. I'm sorry, the approval for the tax scroll, I have included the tax scroll summary.
Board members, you had a chance to glance it. Are you any questions? Any questions at all? It's a summary of all.
Yes, sir.
See, all the towns are included likewise,
Yes, sir.
what they will receive.
Yes, sir.
Fire departments will receive.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Board members, you have any questions? You
No,
have
sir.
any questions? You want to argue with the computers? And so? Open.
I have a question. I know this is being presented, but is there any part of the summary that by statute has to be approved? I'm sorry. I know this is being shared, but is there any part of the summary that we have to approve? Do we have to approve receipt of? I know sometimes in tax,
Well, the summary itself.
so we
The-
have to approve the summary itself.
Yeah, the tax scroll itself, it's probably hundreds of pages, so I didn't put the whole thing in. I just did a summary.
You're actually approving the item at the end, directing the tax collector.
Right.
Yes.
Any questions, board members? Any questions at all? Taxes, any questions? If not, could I have a motion now to approve the authorizing the tax department to collect the amount of taxes that's given to us on the summary sheets?
After receipt of the tax summary report from the tax scroll, I make a motion that we approve and grant permission to the tax collector of the county of Northampton. You're hereby authorized, empowered, and commanded to collect the additional taxes set forth in the tax records filed in the office of the county assessor and in the tax receipts herewith delivered to you on September 3rd, 2024, in the amounts of $21,609,053.73, and from the taxpayers likewise therein set forth as required by General Statute 105.352. Such taxes are hereby declared to be the first lien upon all real property of the respective taxpayers in the county of Northampton, and this order shall be a full and sufficient authority to direct, require, and enable you to levy on and sell any real or personal properties of such taxpayers for and on account thereof in accordance with law.
Second.
They move proper second that we would approve this. We will approve this tax collection procedure for Northampton County. Are there any questions? Any questions? Not all in favor, let know by you to sign aye.
Aye.
I, Brian X. Taylor.
Commissioner Martin.
I, Faulkner.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is passed. Motion is passed. Thank you.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay, next item on to be presented is to obtain the board's approval for 10 ad valorem appeals in the amount of $2,603.78.
Board members, you have the from the tax administrator to release funds to individuals and give them to you to $2,603.78. Are there any? What is your?
Make a motion to approve the appeals as presented in the amount of $2,603.78.
Second.
Move proper second. We will refund those people for these tax amounts as given. Are there any questions? Questions? If not, all in favor, let know by usual sign aye.
Aye.
I, Brian X. Taylor. I, Faulkner.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. Continue.
Okay, I'm also before you to obtain the board's approval for 10 motor vehicle appeals in the amount of $705.72.
Board members, what? She's got the names and the reason why the refunds.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the release of funds by the tax administrator, Ms. Mason.
Second.
Moving proper second, that we will do the motor vehicle refunds that's given to us. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, known by usual sign aye.
Aye.
I, Brian X. Taylor. I, Faulkner.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Continue on.
My last item is to obtain the board's approval for a late application for property tax release. This is for a North been declared 100% service connected permanently disabled, and he meets all 4 qualifications.
Board members, what is your pleasure? What's your pleasure? Requesting tax exempt veteran. Meet all requirements.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval.
Second.
Moving proper second, that we shall approve tax exempt. Are there any questions? Discussion? If not, all in favor, let know by usual sign aye.
Aye.
I, Brian X. Taylor. I, Faulkner.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motions passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. At this time, we're gonna ask Darrell Burnett. Burnett, please come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just wanted to bring 2 items to the board today that do not require your vote, but I wanted you to be aware of them. The department has partnered with a company called the Site Selection Group, as you are aware, to complete a study on parcels near the I-95 Highway 6 corridor. The purpose of this study is to analyze those parcels for future tourism and development. The cost is approximately $18,000, which is currently budgeted in our department. This study is a very key or important part of growth in Northampton County. It complements many of the other due diligence studies that we are completing now. So I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware and this was transparent. Once the report is complete, it will be public. I'll share it with the board members so that you can see what this was all about and see how it will benefit growth in our county. Any questions on that? This was presented to you probably a couple of months ago in our RFQ, so this is nothing new. Okay. Second piece that I wanted to bring to your attention is that we are partnering with the Halifax Community College for their 2024 apprenticeship program. The purpose of this program is to really bridge the gap between the current workforce and the local companies seeking qualified applicants. As you all are aware, many companies are struggling to find qualified individuals to work, whether that is private or public. That is a key issue in Northampton County, other counties. And this program is led by various community colleges, but it is free to many applicants. It's not necessarily an internship, but it bridges that gap and provides technical skills, whether it's welding, hospitality, or what have you, to our labor force. This is really key in our conversations with many companies that seek business in Northampton County. One of our disadvantages is that we don't have a sufficient labor force. So this is really key to attracting companies here. This event will be held on November 18th at 10 o'clock at HCC and will be posted on the county's website. If you have any contacts with small or large companies, that please feel free to share this information, and hope to have a good turnout. Any questions? That's all I have. Thank you.
Financial matters.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I will be presenting 4 budget amendments for your consideration on this evening. The first budget amendment is budget amendment number 21. This is on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce in the amount of $21,389. This is new arts grant reward. So this is just an annual grant. Budget amendment number 22. This is for the courthouse annex. This is in the amount of $6,817.50. This is just part of the USDA grant funding payment received. Budget amendment number 23. This is on behalf of the Sheriff's Department in the amount of $500. And this is funding received on behalf of an insurance deductible payment. And last, we have budget amendment number 24 on the behalf of Emergency Management Department. And this is also a grant funding received in the amount of $700. That concludes the budget amendments presented for your consideration, and all backup documentation is in your packet if you have any questions.
Board members, you have any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
No questions, sir.
Any questions?
No.
Questions? Not, could I have a motion to approve the budget amendment?
Make a motion, we approve budget amendments 21, 22, 23, and 24 as presented.
Second.
We'll move the proper second, and we will approve the budget amendments as presented. Are there any questions or any other discussion? If not, all in favor, let know by usual sign aye.
Aye.
Broadneck Taylor. Faulkner.
Aye.
Ayes have, motion is carried. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There any other financial?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. This is county manager. Any information you need to?
I want to add on tonight, all of the completed audits are located on our website, as they've always been in previous years. And the key thing is that it's an independent audit. It's not management's report. You don't want management's report. You want that independent audit report, because they test to see that we are following financial rules and regulations of the state, the laws. And one important thing on the first page, it states that the financial statements fairly represents the position of the county as of XYZ date. That's one of the most important things that you look for in any audit. And then it goes on to give you a multitude, and it's a multitude of records, but if you take your time and go through it, you can, if you have the understanding, you can figure out those reports. And if you are looking on that website and you're having a hard time, please contact us and we can help you get those reports. And if you need to come in and meet with me, I'm available at any time to meet and go over the reports or provide any information that I can to help to facilitate that process. We are going to be engaging, and we were invited to have a seat at the table for free training through the Upper Coastal Council of Government, which I freely accepted on tonight. We'll be able to get about 4 people from our county to go and train on artificial intelligence. It's coming, it's here, and we need to know more about it and how we as local government can utilize that system. I've had an opportunity to see Mr. Hyatt's. He's actually coming, putting some software out there, and I believe this one deals with dementia. And you can use it in the aging department. And I went and tested it, and I asked a simple question. You say, hey, Ashley, can you tell me what type of food can I give someone with dementia? And I was surprised it came back with an answer. And they're also just, they're so that when you're talking to the software, it actually talks back to you. This is stuff that's coming. We need to know about it. So they're offering the Upper Coastal COG, they're offering 6 weeks free training to any county that signs up. So I quickly signed up. I saw Mr. Hyde. I told him that please send me an invite because I wanted us to get in on that so that we can learn as much as we can and utilize those the advanced software where we can in local government. So I'm excited about that. Just an update on the audit. We have the 2024 audit is we're having a meeting with the auditor on tomorrow, I believe, to find out where we're at. There was a delay, not on our part, but the auditors and information they had to receive from, I believe it was the state. So that pushed them back a little bit, but we're still on target to, you may get a call from me, an email that we need to have a special call meeting in November, sometime next couple of weeks. So that we can have them come in and do their presentation. So what that says is that we will, I don't know how long it's been, but we will have an audit report that is on time. That's a big deal for us. We're looking to try and get Northampton County off of the UAL list so that we can do some more great things. And I think that's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much for your service again. Much appreciated. You guys brought me in and took a chance on me, coming in with a corporate background. So I appreciate you all, and God bless you and much success, whatever you decide to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Citizens, y'all have a good night. As always, thank you for coming out. We appreciate you. We appreciate your concerns. We listen to your concerns. So if you have any issues, problems, please continue to reach out to us. Thank you once again.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, at this time, board members, let's start with Taylor.
I'd like to thank everybody. Well, that's okay. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And I would like to thank you, the citizens, for your comments, because your comments keep us accountable. It keeps us accountable. And I appreciate them. I find that to be the most interesting part of the meeting are the citizen comments, to know what you think and what you feel about Northampton County and what we need to work on in Northampton County. So thank you again for coming, and thank you for holding us accountable to the standards in which we were elected to serve. Thank you.
Mr. Evans.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Mr. Chairman, I yield my time to you and Commissioner Faulkner. And thank you for your years of service and leadership to Northampton County. I yield my time.
Thank you. Commissioner.
Thank everybody for coming out tonight, and deer are moving now, so drive careful on the way home. Keep a lookout for deer.
That's true.
Man.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for entrusting this seat in me for 8 years. I was very active in my community with events and helping students and helping you well before I ever thought about running for office, and I will continue to do so. I will continue to advocate for change in my community. We have seen a lot, we have grown a lot, but we have a lot of things that we want to continue to do. From the town of Rich Square, we have a annual Christmas parade. As everyone knows, the applications are at the office, the town office. The lineup will start at Creasy. Traditionally, it has been starting at the Cater Inn, and then last year, because of how many entries, they kind of switched it around. So it's going to start at Creasy and end back on the other end. So if you're looking at being in the parade, you know where the lineup starts at 9, the parade starts at 10. Vendors will set up at the Rural Health Facility, which is like the doctor's office there in town. There is no cost for to vend, but you do have to fill out an application. And then on Friday, December, make sure I got my date right here for the parade. 1 second. On December 6th, from 5 to 7, they'll have Christmas on the square. Carolyn, Hot Cocoa, some of the stores will be open. So if you just want to come and we're 1 block light to light, but if you want to come and just be a part of just good Southern hospitality, Friday, December 6th from 5 to 7, let me make sure I get the parade date correct. The 7th. The parade is the 7th, Saturday the 7th. Again, I have been honored to get to know some amazing people from border of Northampton County to another border of Northampton County to other counties. And I hope that we can continue to communicate, collaborate, and grow this county. If I can be of any assistance to any county staff, with any transition, with any information that I may have been responsible for, any clarification, I'd be happy to do so. And any citizen who wants just someone to talk to about doing some community service work or anything like that, I'd be happy to work with you on that as well. God bless, and see you all next month in a different capacity, but I will see.
Thank you. The citizens want to say thank you all for all that you've done. Help Northampton County be where it is. I want to say to you, it's been rewarding. In Northampton County, where I've been all of my life. In Northampton County, where I went to high school, finished high school. And Northampton County afforded me the opportunity with a father, with a dad who had the 8th grade education, a mother who had the 12th grade education. But Northampton County gave me the opportunity to come back to work in it. I am grateful. The Lord has blessed me. For 30 years, I worked in the school system. 25 years was in Northampton County. I was principal of 4 schools in Northampton County. But even more than that, I left there and ran for the Board of Education, won there on the Board of Education, served on the Board of Education, did the very best I could possibly do. During my time as a board member, I think about 3 or 4 buildings were named, were built during my tenure on the Board of Education. Plats are in all of those buildings. But along with that, after then, I ran for Board of Education and lost. You know, this is democracy. You win some, you lose some. I gave in Board of Education, all that I possibly could give, then someone encouraged me to run for county commission. And I ran for county commission, and I've been your county commission for 8 years. About the half of those, I've served as chairman on this board. I work tirelessly every day for Northampton County. I even gave up a lot of things that I wanted to do to make sure that Northampton County is where it is today. I want you to know that under my tenure by being chairman, Northampton County has grown in every way. I heard someone talk about the finance. We have now more than we've ever had. I had someone talk about the kinds of things that we've done without a cost to taxpayers. This is exactly what we've done. I want to also note that the people in our county that work for our county have given their heart and hard workers in our county to make sure that our county is where it is today. So right now, I want to just say to the workers, to those in Northampton County who work in Northampton County, thank you for the fine job you've done in Northampton County. As I look down the list, and at our next meeting, it will be a short meeting for Geneva and I, because we're going to turn over the gavel and everything to the new board, and they will go on with the Northampton County business. And I want you to know that we left them with a whole lot of business to take care of. We left them with about $18 million they got to spend right now on water and sewer. We left them with another $4 million they got to spend on water. We left them with another $2.5 million they got to spend on the jail, with the sheriff department, for a new facility, for a new jail. We left them with another $3 million to do houses on the Jackson Road. We left them, and it'll take them the next 4 years, the way it's going, to spend all the money that we have brought in to Northampton County without costing the taxpayers of Northampton County individual anything. I want to say to you that I thank you for all that you've done. I've given you my best, and all I'm going to say to you is that the Lord is going to be with us. He's going to continue to bless us, because one person doesn't stop the show. There'll be others who will come on to carry this on. I want to thank you, County Manager, all of you in the county office. Thank you for your tireless work. Thank you for all that you do, all that you have been doing to help us to be where we are. It's no accident. It didn't happen by osmosis that we're in this building. It didn't happen by osmosis that we're going to be in the next building next to us. It didn't happen by osmosis that all the money that we have received coming from Raleigh and from the feds, even from grants, didn't happen by osmosis. It happened because people decided to go to work, and we went, and I went to Washington, D.C. I can tell you where everybody's office is in there. I went to Raleigh, to the legislature on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats, sit down with them at a luncheon and told them what it is we wanted to do for Northampton County. I am thankful for you, Northampton County, for letting me serve and let me do this little bit that I can do. I am grateful to the county commission for your following the leadership and with the facts that I bring to you. And I said it earlier today, I haven't ever called a single county commissioner and said the night we will have a meeting, I sure would desire you vote. I say to you is take the facts with the facts, run with the facts, and let's make the best decision we can possibly make. And that's what you have done. Thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for letting me be your chairman. You could have said no. You could have did just like the voters did, said no, but you didn't. You gave me an opportunity. I'm not sad tonight I'm not sad because I know I've given you all that I could possibly give you. And I'm just gonna ask the Lord to continue to bless Northampton County. And I plan to do all that I can possibly do, any way that I can do to help you as you continue on. I said to you earlier, new board members, when you move it and you're not sure, you can just pick up the phone and call me because I was in this position as county manager for 12 months. I know Northampton County. I know it in and out. There's no question about it. And the former person in part helped me in finances here tonight. Thank you for being here tonight because you helped me while I was in that position. We're looking for finance officers. We couldn't find one, but you stayed here to help us. You were retired, didn't charge us anything, but thank you. That's the reason Northampton County is where it is today, because of the fact that people like you help us to do what we need to do. And commissioners, I can't say enough. You my buddies for life. Now, I wish I could divorce you, but I can't. You're my buddies for life. Thank you. You can never forget those persons who helped you be where you are. And I want to say to you again, on next month, we will turn over this to the new board members, and we will bless them and support them in every way we can. So again, thank you, citizens. Thank you. Well, I know where Northampton is. I know the position it's in. It's in a better position it's ever been in all this history. I know position it's in. And I want to say to you, it's not because of me. It's because of you and because the God whom I serve let me do some things that I've done. So don't, I don't need no accolades. All I need you to do is continue on doing what we're doing for the future generation, for the future of Northampton County. If we don't grow, we're gonna be stagnated. If you're stagnated, you know what that means. You start smelling and you got all kinds of problems. Yeah, that's what stagnation would do. And we want to continue to move our county forward. And the way we move it forward by doing the things that we need to do for the betterment of Northampton County. We got some resources here that we just need to work with. Darrell, I want to say to you, on economic development, you know what we have. The Commerce Department has already met with you, already met with me. We know what we got in Northampton County. All we got to do is just work the plan. 95, work the plan. 95 corridor is what we need. Gaston Lake is what we need. And I want you to know that the state have given us that information. And all we got to do is follow that information they've given us. Every community, every county wants to grow. Do all you can to grow. Tourism is what we need in Northampton County. Tourism, folks coming to Northampton County. Okay, and not coming to see not coming here to see all the what we call them, the electric solar farms. Not come see all the solar farms, but then very little we can do about it. But all that we can do about it, let's do about it. Let's do it. But little we can do about it. But we want to make sure that we use the resources that we have. I gotta say to you, it's painful, but it's true. We're in democracy. We win some, we lose some. But doesn't mean that we stop. It means we continue to move forward. Thank you so much, board members. I do need to see you for 2 minutes, just for 2 minutes after this meeting, and then we will adjourn. Are there any other?
Yes, one other thing, Mr. Chairman. We do have a presentation this evening. I'd like to ask Commissioner Taylor and Commissioner Martin to come down, please. Vice Chair Geneva Brady Faulkner, would you please come forward? Geneva Brady Faulkner, on behalf of the Northampton County Commissioners and Northampton County employees and Northampton County citizens, we would like to present you with this token of our appreciation. And it reads, in honor of Mrs. Geneva Brady Faulkner, Northampton County Commissioner District 2, thank you for your sacrifice and endless contributions to Northampton County, presented November the 4th, 2024. We thank you. Mrs. Faulkner. Chairman Tyner. Yes. Could you please come forward, please? Chairman Tyner, I'd like to present you this token of our appreciation in honor of your service and for serving as our chair for the past 6 years. In honor of Dr. Charles R. Tyner Sr., Northampton County Commissioner District 1, thank you for your sacrifice and your endless contributions to Northampton County, presented this day, November the 4th, 2024. We thank you, Chairman Tyner, for your leadership.
Have a motion to go into closed session.
Make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to General Statute 143, 318, 11A6 personnel, 11A3 attorney-client privilege, 11A4. Just affirmation 2.
Second.
Closed session, all in favor, nobody sign aye.
Aye.
Faulkner.
Broadnax.
Aye.
I have a motion is carried. Thank you.
We're having a closed session.
We're having a closed session, be about 5 minutes. We have a closed session.
The purpose of the closed session,
Huh?
this purpose. Normally when you go in closed session.
Personnel. I don't know who seconded that motion. Okay.
That's second.
Yes. Although it's closed.
Stopped.
I'm not even sure I turned it, but this is the last, so I'm not even sure this meets the requirement of your Oh,
It
you
does,
are.
it does.
It does.
It does.
It does. It does. Board members, I got a call from the state office. And they said to me that we